Hiya! Welcome! So if you saw the latest Records Roundup video that was on the channel last week, I showed you my Record Store Day 2025 pickups, of which there were 5. Please go back and watch that at some point in your leisure if you've not seen it yet. And I showed lots of other stuff that had nothing to do with RSD as well. But going back to RSD, I did say that there was one pickup, the big ticket item I called it, in which I would like to do a separate video and give you a closer look because it's a box set. The box set in question came from Bending Sound in Bangor, Northern Ireland. It cost £95, free postage, and it arrived pretty quickly after the Monday evening following Record Store Day, where all RSD stock was allowed to be sold online by retailers, or all remaining stock. As I alluded to in Records Roundup 83, this was a pickup for me that I did really want it, but I put it in the maybe section of my RSD want list because I was worried that the price would be really high, and you know, £95 is pretty high. I really did want it because I am trying to double up with this band. Of course, I've been waffling on long enough. You want to see what this is and show you the vinyl and everything in better detail. That's the purpose of this video. Here it is, the RSD 25 edition of Time Flies 1994 to 2009 by Oasis. So it's a box set. You can tell it's not like a lot of the box sets that I personally have unboxed on the channel, where the outer case, the outer box, is sort of quite thick stock really. This is probably just sort of like a relatively thin cardboard. I'm going to try and conserve the cellophane. If I don't, if it has to come off, then fair enough. I'll still try and make sure that hype sticker gets saved. It's Oasis's complete singles collection. This will be like a kind of 15th anniversary edition, I suppose. Split out over 4 LPs, all different colours. And the back of it looks like so. We'll go through the tracks a little bit more as we look at each disc, but as you can see, these aren't in any chronological order, although it does contain every single Oasis single on the Big Brother label and individually numbered. I can't remember how many copies there are worldwide of this. Probably way more than I would have initially thought, as this was surprisingly easy for me to pick up on that Monday evening. But my number is 11,247. So I do own this album on CD. I think that's a 4 CD edition. It's been some years since I've listened to it, but I do own it. I can just about see it down there on one of my shelves. When this originally came out, which would have been 2010, it was split out over 5 LPs, the vinyl version. So they've shrunk it down to 4 here, so extra tracks on each disc, which I don't think is going to make an awful lot of difference. I mean, there'll probably be someone out there who's got the original 5 LP set and then also got the 4 LP set. One or the other would be fine for me, and I saw the prices of the original 2010 box set before this even was announced, and it was very expensive. I assume it's come down a lot on the aftermarket. But anyway, it's this one, the Record Store Day edition, that we're here to look at. So let's get it open. What I think I'm going to do, as it looks like it might just be sort of a card slip case here, the cover, I'm just going to score the cellophane at the top and hope that I can get this out with some relative degree of success. Yeah, that's going to be like a slip case, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let's put the slipcase, the outer bit, to one side, and we've got a very nice kind of light line-ish green that holds the records here. Colour coded, so no doubt the inner sleeves will match the colour of the vinyl themselves. Is there going to be some sort of booklet or something in here? I don't know if the original 5 LP box set came with a book. I don't think there is, but fair enough. You know, you've got all your track listing. You can have your track listing again on your inner sleeve and on your centre labels, etc. Nothing to really worry about, but let's have a look at each disc. So here's LP1, and yes, it does have the production credits on the back of the inner there. So LP1 has Supersonic, Roll With It, Live Forever and Wonderwall on side A, and on side B, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Songbird, Don't Look Back in Anger. So not a chronological order. I think they've tried to sort of sequence this so that things fit together better, and a lot of acts and artists do that when they release a greatest hits or a full-on singles compilation like what this is. Going chronologically, for someone like me with certain OCD issues, would prefer it that way. I do understand why a lot of artists don't actually like to do that. So this is on a very nice bold orange here. I say bold, it's not massively bright, but it's just a nice non-transparent orange. Presumably all the centre labels are going to look very similar. Kind of colour-coded, really. I mean, you can't call this inner orange, but it is what it is. Onto LP2, a darker green inner. More production credits and writing credits on the back. And side C, which it being LP2 would be classed as C and D. Side C is The Hindu Times, Stand By Me, Lord Don't Slow Me Down and Shaker Maker. Side D has All Around the World, Some Might Say, and The Importance of Being Idle. And as the sun goes in, as I'm recording this, I've got other lighting on, obviously. In fact, I've just realised I forgot to put my top light on, so just bear with me a sec. Living room light on. I don't think that's made any difference at all, really, has it? But it's on now, I'm leaving it on. I try and have as much artificial light as I can in these videos, even when there's a fair amount of natural light, and it seems that the sun's come from behind the cloud again now. Anyway, right, back to this. Oh yeah, so that's a kind of bluey green there. It's probably looking a bit more light blue on camera, but I would say that's more green than anything. Very nice indeed. LP3 coming up in a sort of light reddish pink inner. Same writing, production notes and what have you, publishing credits on the back. And side E, couldn't read then for a sec, has Do You Know What I Mean, Lila and Let There Be Love. And side F, Go Let It Out, Who Feels Love and Little by Little. Of course, if you're an Oasis fan, you know where all these tracks are coming from album wise, what years they were released, etc. I didn't intend this to be an absolutely thorough video dissecting the pros and cons of Time Flies by Oasis. It's just a simple unboxing video, really. And finally, LP4 in a light blue inner has side G, The Shock of the Lightning, She Is Love and Whatever. And side H, the final side, seemingly only 2 tracks on it, I'm Out of Time and Falling Down, both from the final album Dig Out Your Soul. However, for some reason, and I don't know why they did it, there'll be some reason I'm sure, but I couldn't figure it out, but Sunday Morning Call, which was a single, so it's not like it doesn't really qualify for this set, that's a hidden track at the end of the album itself, at the very end of side H. So Sunday Morning Call from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. That's some more darker, bolder blue there. Oh, nice set. Is it worth £95? And that is about average, really, I think, for this album, or this box set. I saw it for a little bit less, and I saw it for a little bit more. Just the price has kind of varied to a small extent from all the RSD retailers. But I'm really happy that I've got this. It wasn't one that if I'd missed out completely I would have been gutted about, but especially as there was a similarly priced item, the Zoetrope edition of All Things Must Pass by George Harrison, that I really did want. That was up there at like number 2 or 3 in my must-have list, really. and I missed that, and I was very disappointed. So this was kind of like a nice compensation really, although obviously I'd ordered this before I knew for certain that I wasn't going to get Harrison from anywhere. But even so, many thanks to Bending Sound, who I've used before plenty of times for purchasers. They sent this out really quick, it arrived with no issues, and I can highly recommend Bending Sound in Northern Ireland. But thank you all for watching this unboxing of Oasis's Time Flies 94 to 09 compilation album box set, specially re-released for Record Store Day. I want to say special thanks to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now. What else am I going to do but start listening to Time Flies? A great compilation. I mean, it's got all the Oasis singles. That kind of is its own purpose served really. There's been a previous Oasis set, Stop the Clocks, that I think was personally compiled by Noel Gallagher, and it doesn't feature all the singles, but some fans and critics rate that more than Time Flies. I would kind of like that set on vinyl, but like with the original Time Flies box set, it goes for a lot of money, and I've got the album on CD anyway. I just kind of double up on Oasis as and when like a special edition comes out for an anniversary or for Record Store Day in this case. But I'm going to go and listen to Time Flies now, and I do hope that all of you will join me again for my next box set unboxing and record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!